everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome to CSMB Women's Cell's another webinar, which is IP in FMCG product. We all know the importance of intellectual property that has arisen because of many upcoming businesses just like us, whatever we think. So this webinar is all about bringing awareness as to how we can protect our intellectual property from getting copied and being used as our own for our own benefits. So I welcome you all to a CSMB Women's Cell, and I would like to welcome our President, CSMB's Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses Chambers President, Mr. Nilesh Lele sir. Nilesh Lele sir, over to you, sir, for the introducing the chamber, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Arpita ji. First and foremost, welcome to our guest speaker and our expert today, Sanjaykumar Patel ji. Welcome to all our Women's Cell members, especially Arpita ma'am, Asha Dave ma'am, Anjali, Rupa ma'am, Diksha, and all the team that's gathered here today. And welcome to all who have joined us here on Zoom as well as watching us on YouTube. I take this opportunity to introduce you to the chamber and some of the achievements that we have had in just over a year since existence. So as some of you may have attended our webinars before and have seen us on YouTube, would know that the chamber was founded back in late 2020, which was at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and a lot of SMEs were actually facing the heat of it. It's based out of Mumbai, and more details can be found about our chamber on the website at casmb.org.in. We are very much active on various social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. In case you have missed any of our earlier webinar or any training sessions, they are on our YouTube channel at CSMB India, which has more than 80 videos or sessions that we have had in last 1 year alone. The idea of creating this chamber was with a mission and vision statement, which was to bring all the stakeholders together on a single platform and make the MSME sector a bigger and a more resilient backbone of Indian economy. We all know SME plays a key role, contributes largely towards employment generation. More than 11 crore people are employed by MSMEs. There's a large contribution, more than 30% contribution to the GDP, and more than 50% contribution to the export that happens from India. And that's why we feel that with these objectives in mind, we want our chamber to be playing a much aggressive and a much wider role, especially in terms of advancement of growth of small and medium businesses. We are representing MSME sector in various forums. We have partnered with various government agencies. Recently, we did an MOU with the Ayush Ministry. We have done MOUs with a lot of educational institutes. And we want this MSME issues to be taken to the various platforms where we can put it forth and try to resolve the challenges faced by the MSME. We are also working with a lot of farmers, and in fact, also would like to tell everybody that we are working closely with the farmers in Kashmir, also farmers in Northeast, and in fact, we are very proud that recently green peas consignment was recently shipped from Kashmir, from the Jammu sector to Mumbai. Honey is also being traded from Kashmir to Mumbai, thanks to the efforts of some of our chamber members. We are trying to bring a convergence with the academic research institutes, the technology that is available from either the manufacturers or from these research or academic institutes, various government schemes that are available. In fact, on our website, you'll find all the government schemes that are out there for MSMEs as well as the food industry. And we are also actively participating in the policy formation when it comes to the MSMEs. In fact, today only, just before this session, I had a session where CNBC 18 had brought a few presidents and few representatives of various MSMEs to talk about the next 5 years and the challenges and the opportunities that SMEs would have. So they just recorded that session and should be played sometime in this week on CNBC 18. We also have done a lot of buyer-seller meets. In fact, we are planning one buyer-seller meet for dairy industry in Anand in Gujarat in July, and another big buyer-seller meet along with uh, uh, an exhibition that is planned in the second week, 14th to 16th of September in Mumbai. So that's because that tends to be a pain point of SME where they don't necessarily have the enough sales or enough orders in hand. So we're trying to address that issue as well, and doing a lot of training, some of them like what we have today, which a lot of these are free sessions. We also have a e-learning portal called Food Tech Pathshala, where a lot of more than 40 courses are available, and we're doing a lot of capacity building through training and development, especially in the food industry. We have conducted various study tours, various factory visits. In fact, in last 6 months, we conducted 3 virtual factory visits across sectors in food industry, and they are also available on YouTube. I think on a channel it's available, where we did a factory visit of Chitare Bandhu Mithai Wale, one of the famous brands of mithai as well as snacks in Maharashtra, especially out of Pune. Different strategic tie-ups, taking our members to various exhibitions, various forums, as well as abroad is something that we do. We have been blessed to have a very strong advisory board, people very well known, especially in the field of food, Professor Smita Lele, Dr. Prabodh Halde, Dr. Prakash Kondekar, Dr. K.D. Kamble, as well as Professor Pramod Raghav. We also are fortunate, and I would like to thank each and every member who's on this and the next slide for playing a very active role, because the chamber is as strong as its members and its core committee. And I'm very thankful to Mr. Umesh, who's the secretary of the chamber, Rupa ma'am, who's taken the role of editor of the magazine, where we have already released 4 issues, 4 quarterly issues. And the recent one came out on April 15th and was released at the hands of Padma Vibhushan Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar. Our next issue is will be out in July, and the theme of that issue is millets. So if anybody is interested in contributing, please feel free to reach out to me or to Rupa ma'am. And then we have Arpita ma'am, convener of the Women's Cell, Asha Dave ma'am, Shan Naigaukar sir, Sunil sir, Sanjay sir. And we are already having our footprints across 5 different states. So as slowly, steadily we move out of the Mumbai, Maharashtra region, we are fortunate to have presence in Gujarat, in Goa, in Northeast, in Kashmir, and hopefully we'll be in all the states, all 28 states and all the union territories shortly. These are some of the initiatives that we have done in just over a year now, and the knowledge series has been very popular. More than 80 such webinars have been done with the attendance of more than 10,000 people who attended live and have seen on YouTube, more than 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. We also have a startup buddy program where we do a lot of handholding, and it's something that we will shortly be rolling out to the entrepreneurs or startups in Kashmir as well as Tripura, especially, where right from farm to fork, or starting your company all the way to taking the product to the shelf, is something that we do for, especially in the food space. As part of Food Tech Pathshala, we have, like I said, we have more than 40 courses, and I'm proud to say that we have more than 10,000 registered users who are actually watching and improving their skill set through our training programs on Food Tech Pathshala. Technology Transfer Cell is another cell which has been a successful initiative of our chamber, and we have had representatives from NIFTEM, from BRC, Institute of Chemical Technology, talk about various technologies that are available and can be transferred or taken over by any upcoming entrepreneur. Purna Brahma magazine, like I said, feel free to contribute in terms of advertisement or your interview or your articles. And if you want to download any of our past magazines, they are all available on the casmb.org.in website of ours. Buyer seller meet, we already did 2 with the government agencies, and we are looking forward to doing more shortly with various partners, especially in the state of Maharashtra. Then we work very closely with various ministries. We are working with Israel Consulate, we are working with French Consulate, German Consulate. So working very closely with a lot of different consulates and government agencies to ensure that our MSME members can benefit. I briefly touched upon the study tours, factory visits, exhibitions. In fact, there's an exhibition coming up in from 14 to 16 called Annapurna, in in Mumbai. And recently we were able to get MSME's approval for their exhibition, so that the exhibitors, if they are Udyam registered, can actually get 50% rebate or 50% subsidy on the just one second, 50% subsidy on the exhibition fees that they will pay, all the way up to 1.25 lakhs. Women's Cell is another of our very excellent and successful initiative, and I believe this is like more than 15-20 programs that Women's Cell has done over a period of last 1 year. And there are a lot of activities. I don't want to go into each detail, but I urge our members and non-members to come forward, partner with us, and create a win-win situation, especially for MSMEs in food, agriculture, and allied industries. We are mentoring more than 250 plus startups in our ecosystem, in our startup buddy program, in our mentorship program. We have also done what is called like a Shark Tank kind of an event, where we had two such events, one in April in Nagpur, another in Mumbai. And we'll have a similar event in during Annapurna in September, and in FIHI in Bangalore again in September. So please look out if you are a startup looking to get funded. We will be trying to do a Shark Tank kind of event. It's called Fund Quest, where we have investors who will come listen to your ideas and hopefully do invest in your startup. So that's a request. Someone is getting unmuted. Please. Prabodh sir, you have done?
Hi.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. What are the benefits? Like we said, most of our events are free for our members, our partners, and our chamber office is also available to our members. You can access it to have your meetings or meeting your clients if you don't have a presence in Mumbai. Membership fee, we have tried to keep it as low as possible. You can become a corporate member at 2,500, or a non-corporate like a student or a farmer at 500 per year. Or if you want to become a life member with validity of 20 years, it's effectively 10 times our annual membership. So that if you want to be associated with us for next 20 years, you can avail the life membership option as well. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to our core team member or our advisors, or to me or Diksha or anybody. This is my personal phone number and my email, and I'm always available for any questions, queries, or help that you may need. So thank you very much, and also would like to welcome Dr. Prabodh sir, who has always been a very big mentor and big help to all our initiatives here at the chamber.
No, Nilesh, generally this is a working day, and the Friday is also meeting time. But when I saw actually today's topic, and how many, I think 16 people have joined. Very low number. Sorry, actually the trainer, ideally it should have been. I hope this is a recorded session.
Yes, this is recorded and will be on YouTube. And we have seen that people watch it later on, like the views go on increasing.
I understand. No, I just want to give actually one important message to all the people who are attending and those who will be watching you online. Sanjaykumar Patel, who is a trainer today, I believe that he would be giving us the best of the best knowledge. But let me telling you the story about our own Indian tradition. It is being told to us, most of the inventions which has happened, they always happened in India earlier, but we could not protect them because there was no time of documenting, or there was no kind of patenting, or there was no kind of recording also. And when the Mughals came and when the Britishers came, most of our documentation, whatever it was there, and we could not preserve it properly. The biggest lacuna of the Indian community is always proper documenting and proper intellectual property or knowledge management. This is a great learning what we should learn from the history, and one has to protect the knowledge which you have gained, whatever, through your business or through your education. So today's topic is so important, Nilesh, for the valuation. When you value, I was part of the one valuation committee in the Singapore recently, and then what I realized, if you have a knowledge, something which is your USP, which is your actually part of the IPR, your valuation of the business increases multiple times. It can be n number of times. It could be anything. You even cannot imagine how valuation can increase if it is if you have protected your IPR. Unfortunately, in India, the penetration of such kind of awareness is very low, and everything is copyable. And there are limitations. When you start doing a patenting, you cannot do the commercial operation, and then nobody has those kind of gestation time. But let me tell you, there are avenues to do that, and it is always to go good for protecting your knowledge. Not only patenting, but there are multiple kind of protection tools. And I hope Mr. Patel, Dr. Patel, will able to tell us. This program is very important, Nilesh, for the startup, because everything we believe in India, there are two aspects. One is we don't believe, we don't respect the knowledge, and second thing, chalta hai attitude. We copy everything without. Generally, it is so easy to copy from the Google. We don't give credit to the master, who is actually the originator of the knowledge. So, as a startup, please have a habit of, if you are taking some knowledge from somebody, give the credit. And same way, if you are having your original knowledge, protect it. So one is a protecting. Number two, if you're using somebody, give a courtesy. As a courtesy, give a credit to that person, even on your internet, on your email, on your presentation, whenever you're quoting something, give credit to the person who you got that information from. So with this, I just wanted to congratulate Nilesh, great job doing, and the entire team of our chamber, and look forward. Thank
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Arpita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prabodh sir, for this kind words, and thank you, Nilesh sir, for giving the introduction. I would now like to invite Dr. Asha Dave, ma'am, to introduce our today's speaker. Dr. Asha, please.
Yeah, namaste. So today we have a speaker from Gujarat. I am from Gujarat, so I am very happy. And even our Prime Minister is in Gujarat today. Mr. Sanjaykumar Patel, founder and principal attorney-Excelon IP. Mr. Sanjaykumar Patel is founder and patent trademark attorney at Excelon IP law firm with 17 years of experience in IPR field. He is registered Indian patent agent. He has done B Pharm and M Pharm from LM College of Pharmacy and has done LLB from MS University. He is holding PG diploma in patent law from Nalsar University. Previously, he had worked with BNS Group UK, Alembic Pharma, Estron Research of Intas Pharma, and Torrent Pharmaceuticals. He is active member of IP Collegium Group of Japan, managed by Japan Institute for Promoting Invention and Innovation, representing the only patent attorney from India. He is startup IP facilitator recognized by DPIIT. He is on IPR panel as IPR expert at Atal Incubation Center, LM College of Pharmacy, GTU, and many other university and colleges. He is also startup mentor at various incubation centers, including Atal Incubation Center, iHub Gujarat, and startup platforms like NHRD's Innovation Cell, Government of India, Founders Institute, eChai, and many more. He has been listed as top 100 IP leaders of India by World IP Forum in 2018 and won Legal Service Provider of the Year award from VyaparJagat.com in 2021. He is seasoned speaker and has delivered many lectures and presentations at national level as well as at international conferences. So, sir, we welcome you and we are eager to hear. Thank you. Over to Arpita.
Thank you, madam, for such a nice introduction. And I would like to say thank you to Nilesh sir, Arpita ma'am, and Prabodh sir for creating the stage for before I start the sessions. Definitely, the importance of IP is very much, and now we are into the knowledge era. Protecting the knowledge and respecting the knowledge of others is very much required at this particular point of time. So today we are just going to, I hope that my screen is visible and I'm audible properly.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So the topic for today is the intellectual property in FMCG, right? Now, irrespective of the domain, our today's discussion will be more focused on the FMCG. But irrespective of the any of the domain you discussed today, the intellectual property is a very, very critical role which is playing for the growth and establishment of any particular domain or industry, right? So we'll expect a more interaction from the people. It will be more helpful for others to understand, and for me also, rather than I just go on talking and you just listen. I expect some interaction from audience side. So let's start with the same. So what is intellectual property as per your understanding or as per your knowledge till date? Anyone can just unmute and speak. What is your understanding by intellectual property? Anyone from the audience can just unmute and speak.
Can I go, sir?
Can I
Yes.
go?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, please. We have got someone. Please, I would request them to go.
Yeah, hi, this is Prachi here.
Yes.
And I think intellectual property is related to your inventions, maybe your research or your papers, your patents, or anything specialty about your work. That can be anything, to be honest, like starting from symbols or designs or anything.
Yes, absolutely right. So if you go with a very simple definition, it is the outcome of your brain. Yeah, it's intellectual. It's your intellectual. Whatever you are creating through your intellectual, that is intellectual. And once it is converted into the property which can be owned, right? So whatever you are creating through your brain, through your creativity, through your talent, and all this, once you convert it into a property which can be owned just like your other properties, just like your home, car, land, or anything else. This is the simple and self-explanatory definition of the intellectual property, right? So whatever you are creating through your brain or unique ideas or talent can be defined as an intellectual, and once it is converted in some kind of property. Now, what kind of property that we will discuss in upcoming slides? What is FMCG? You know better than me. I just to initiate the topic and all this. I have bifurcated this that intellectual property in FMCG. The FMCG has brought two categories: food and non-food, and these are the product or the industry or the domains basically covered under the FMCG banner as a broad way. Now, if we consider the intellectual property, there are different types of intellectual property, right? Including patent, trademark, design patent, and a copyright. Apart from this, there is also other types of IP like trade secrets, geographical indication, integrated circuits, and all this. But we are discussing these four mainly because these are the generally used, and these four type of IPs used in the day-to-day life or day-to-day business. That's why we are more focusing on this particular four. And quickly we go through that what this intellectual property is, what it is protecting, what kind of scope you can get when you get registration of this particular IP. So once we start with the patent can be given to any kind of invention which is either a product or a process. If it is a product or a process having criteria of novelty, inventive step and industrial application, right? So आपने अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाया है या वो प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का कोई प्रोसेस नया इन्वेंट किया है जो आज तक कहीं पे एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा है, and it is fulfilling these three criteria of patentability, that is novelty, inventive steps and industrial applications, then you are eligible to get a patent. Now, in terms of these three criteria of novelty Yeah, I mean, you can say your invention is novel if the same invention, the same information is not in public domain anywhere into the world. वर्ल्ड में कोई भी जगह पे कोई भी कंट्री में ये इंफॉर्मेशन अगर पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं है, then you can say that your invention is novel. Second criteria is inventive step. Suppose exactly same information public domain में नहीं है, but there is some similar or relevant to your invention, some information is there. तो वो जो इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल है या प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल है या किसी पेटेंट में मेंशन किया हुआ है या कोई आर्टिकल में लिखा हुआ है या कोई बुक्स में लिखा हुआ है, सो कंपेयर टू दैट आपने जो मॉडिफिकेशन या चेंजेस किए हैं आपके इन्वेंशन में, इट शुड हैव अ सिग्निफिकेंट बेनिफिट, इट शुड हैव सम सिग्निफिकेंट बेनिफिट कंपेयर टू जो पब्लिक डोमेन में इंफॉर्मेशन है. If you are able to prove that it is significantly beneficial than whatever is existing, then you can say that it is inventive. And third criteria is industrial application, which is by default applicable. So first two criteria is more important when you are evaluating the patentability of your invention. In terms of timeline, if you say currently, if you don't do any extra efforts, let it be as per the normal process, it can take 3, 4, 5 years on an average, but that can be expedited, and there are the provisions of early publication and expedite examinations through which you can get the decision or the outcome of your patent within 1 year also. Near about in 8 to 9 months also, you can get a outcome of your patent process. Once you have a patent, the patent right is limited for the 20 years from your filing date. So you will get the legal rights of your patented inventions for 20 years from the filing date. Once this 20 year is over, it is open to public domain and anybody can use it. Right? So this is the basic understanding about the what patent is and what patent is protecting. This is the example. Not each and every product shown here is eligible for a patent, but as I told you, any product or a process. When we are discussing about this FMCGs particularly, we can consider that any formulation or a composition that you are creating through use of either natural or chemical ingredients or any other ingredients, the composition, the formulation, the recipe can be protected as a product, or the process, if you have identified any unique process for preparing that composition or a product, that can be protected under the patent scope. You can raise or ask the question if you have any doubt. Definitely we will have a question answer session later, but in between also, you are not able to understand or have some query, you can just unmute and let me know. Someone has put in the chat box, I have some doubts on patent process. So can you just specify what kind of query or doubt you have? Hello, someone named with Mysore has put a question into the chat box. Okay, we'll take it later. Now, second is trademark. Now, trademark is eligible for any name, phrase, logo, symbol, slogan, or tagline. This all type of things can be protected under the trademark, right? What are the criteria to get a trademark is the first, that it should not be a generic word, right? It should not be a word which we are using in our day-to-day life, in our routine life. It should not be descriptive. It should not have a dictionary meaning, right? And it should not be identical to existing any other product or a brand from the same category, right? So these are the three criteria कि वो general word नहीं होना चाहिए. It should not be descriptive, जो आपको आपके प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस को डिस्क्राइब करता हुआ नहीं होना चाहिए. It should not have any dictionary meaning which is directly relating or explaining about your business. It should not be identical with any other brand which is already existing or for which already the trademark has been filed or registered. So these are the three criteria you have to ensure before you go for the trademark of your brand. Timeline, it is in the range of 6 months to 2 years. If you do not have, if you after filing, if there is no any query from trademark office and also there is no opposition from the third party, you can get your trademark certificate within 6 to 8 months. And if there is query, it will take 1.5 to 2 years. What rights you will get through trademark is the initial right is for 10 years, but subject to perpetuity. That means you can keep your trademark rights as long as you want. The condition that you are renewing your trademark every 10 years, right? So once it is registered first time, that right is available for 10 years, but that needs to be renewed every 10 years. And if you keep on renewing every 10 years, you can keep it as long as you want, right? So this is the basic understanding about the trademark. And all the brand and images you are showing here is the example you can correlate with the trademark, right? The name, the brand name, the tagline, all these things can be protected under the trademark. Third is a copyright. Now, any artistic or a literature kind of work, which is expression and fixed in a tangible medium, can be protected under the copyright. Here I have mentioned artistic and literature also. Only there is also music, cinematography, dramatic, and musical works can also be protected under the copyright. But for this particular session, we are focusing on the artistic and literature kind of work. The work should be creative and original. This is the criteria. Timeline, again, it is 6 to 8 months to ranging from 2 years, depending on if there is any query or objection or opposition by the third party. What kind of rights you will get once you have copyright registration is protection granted for the whole life of the creator, right? The whole life of the creator plus 60 years. This is the right. This is the right you will get on the copyright registration. Now, here I want to say one thing, that this is the only IP rights where the registration is not mandatory, right? For copyright, to claim as a copyright, it is not mandatory to do registration. Once you create something and convert it onto any fixed medium or tangible medium, you can by default say or mention that this has a copyright belongs to you, right? But what is the benefit of registration? The registration benefit is that if any dispute arises in future, if you have a registration, that copyright registration will be considered as a strongest evidence. If you do not have a registration, you have to prove that this particular thing you have created on this particular date, and that to prove that you have to provide so many evidences, right? So ideally, it is not mandatory to do registration, but if you want to protect and consider the strongest evidence in case of any legal dispute arises in future, then it is advisable to go for a registration. So here there is two parts. One is original product and another is the copycat products. So the thing is, what is eligible in the copyright? The overall look of the product, right? The overall labeling part, right? That can be the artwork of any product outside can be protected under the copyright. Industrial design or a design patent. Design patent term is not generally used in India. In India, it is used as industrial design, and in other countries, in like US, they mention the design patent, right? So what the unique shape, structure, form, aesthetic of an article and object. If you have created some product in a unique shape or very aesthetic look of that product, then you can protect under that industrial design. Again, the criteria is it should be creative and original. Timeline is again in the range of 1 to 2 years. The protection granted as a design or industrial design is initial for 10 years that you can renew for another 5 years. So total 15 years rights you will get once you have a registered design or industrial design. After that, it is open to public and anybody can use it, right? But here the thing is that it is only and only protecting the shape of any object or a product, irrespective of its size, irrespective of its material of composition, and irrespective of what technical features or the function it has, right? So it is only and only protecting the aesthetic look or a shape of that particular product. So these are some examples which has a unique packaging. You can see the paper board, this Tata Tea Fusion, the bottle particularly, and this Induleka. I hope everyone is aware about this unique packaging. They have disrupted this industry with this unique packaging, right? So when you are creating a product which has a unique shape and has an aesthetic appeal, that can be eligible for a industrial design registration. So in summary, we can say the intellectual property is the main IP, you can say classification wise, it is a trademark, patent, design, and a copyright. So if you want to summarize that, if you have any kind of idea which is creating identity, then you can protect it under the trademark. If you have some idea which is an invention, either in terms of product or a process, you can protect it under the patent. If it is idea in form of expression of something, an artistic design or artwork and the label, then you can protect under the copyright. And if that idea is related to appearance or the aesthetic look or shape of any particular thing, then you can protect it under the design patent or industrial design, right? So now, till now we have discussed that what is the basic definition of IP, what are the different types of intellectual property. Now, give me answer that based on your experience or based on your understanding, why one should go and register or protect the IP. What are the reasons one should go for a registration or filing the IP? Any kind of IP, either it's a patent, a trademark, a copyright, or a design. What's the reason and why one should go for it?
Anybody from the audience would like to answer this question?
It's a very basic question. No need to go very brainstorming. You can just, whatever you have experience or gone through, you can give answer based on that. One answer was already in the initial of the sessions.
Can I go
Yes.
ahead, sir?
Yeah.
I'll start with an example. We all know Mohanlal Chikki in Lonavala.
Yes.
But we are not able to identify who is the original person because there are so many Mohanlal Chikkis. So I guess this is why we need to protect our IP, because the name became a brand, but unfortunately people or the consumer are not able to recognize who is the original person. And
Yes.
same went with our Jagdish in Baroda for Bakharwadi. This is the same scenario.
Yes. So when we say that, as Dr. Prabodh sir has already mentioned so many things related to IP and why it is important right now, right? The first thing is that currently in India we have lots of talent. There is no doubt about it, right? People are having very creative minds and doing invention, innovations, and all these things in a day-to-day life. But the concern, the problem is that we are not seeing that thing with that importance, with that mindset, and also once we have something, we are not able to protect it. Why we are not able to protect it, or why we are not protecting is, it can be either lack of awareness, either due to the lack of resources or lack of understanding or not understanding the importance of this. And another major thing that I experience is that because of the people consider it as a cost or expense or additional expense, right? So these are the some factors due to which we are doing something great, but we are not protecting it. And because of we are not protecting it, someone else is taking the benefit of it, right? So here I want to list out and want to discuss and give more focus on that, why one should protect the IP, right? The very first and most thing is protecting your intellectual, right? Whatever you have created through your brain, through your creativity, it should be protected, so that if someone is copying or misusing it, you have a legal rights to stop them, right? So this is the fundamental primary objective of anyone who is planning to protecting its IP. Very, very basic thing, right? People ask that, okay, I do registration, but later on also, if I go into the court process is so long and costly, I'm not able to get anything out of it, right? Definitely, that is a situation and that we need to accept it. But for a second or for the time being, you just keep that thing aside. Now, next slide onwards, whatever the points I'm discussing, just keep that in mind and identify and think that, okay, for that reason, can I go for the IP filing and can I get the benefit in my business, in my brand or not, right? So this is the very primary objective, but it has some loopholes kind of things in the legal system or the process and the timelines and all this. But keep this aside for a time being and keep focus on this benefit. The first, the second is reduce competition. How it can reduce the competition is once you have filed any kind of IP, either it is a patent, trademark, copyright, or industrial design, keep putting loudly on your marketing channels, either it's offline or online. Highlight it very loudly, right? So the people who are planning to copy your product, once they see this kind of informations, definitely they will think twice before copying or mimicking your products or imitating your products, right? So without doing any efforts, you can reduce that percentage of competition. I'm not saying that you can reduce 100% competition from the market by this, but definitely you can reduce some percentage of the competition without doing any extra efforts, right? So this is the first reason. Second is building the brand image or a company image. When you put your product and mention that it's patent pending, it's design patent pending, or trademark is registered and intellectual property, all intellectual property is protected and legally protected by this, and it's innovative products. So the consumer, when consumers see this kind of information on the product they are using, they have a different respect to your product. They have a respect to your company, they have a respect to your brand. So it will help you to increase the goodwill of your company, your brand, and your product. And that will ultimately help you to increase your goodwill and intangible asset valuation that we will discuss in another factor points also. Fetch premium price. You can correlate the thing. If you want to fruit, it will cost you. But if you want to buy brand, then you have to pay this much, right? So once you have a product, suppose you are selling a 4 or 5 people or companies already selling that kind of products. All are selling in the range of 80 to 100 rupees of almost similar or same quality. Now, based on your research and innovation, you have done some value addition to that product and you have come up with some modified product or improved product, right? Which has some value addition for the clients, for the consumers, right? What are the modification or the improvement you have done? You have applied for some patent, design patent, or a trademark or a copyright. So now you have improved version of that product with IP protections. So when you are launching the product, when all the people are selling the product is in the range of 80 to 100 rupees, when you launch your product with this kind of campaigning based on that IP protections, innovative products, and all the benefits you are offering through that product, you can always demand a premium price. You can always sell the same product at 120 rupees, 125 rupees, or 130 rupees, right? So based on that, you can always fetch a premium price. Definitely, it will be vary from product to product and segment to segment, but you can definitely encash through this. Bargaining power. Now, how you can get this bargaining power is, if suppose once you launch this kind of innovative products and it got very good response from the market, either some company who is into the same kind of products but have very big name, either it can be from the domestic or from the international company, want to get collaborated with you. want to get associated with you, who want to get a license from you, or they want to acquire the whole product from you, right? In any of this situation, if you do not have any IP protection, then you will agree and will say whatever the terms they are offering, right? But suppose you have all this IP protection, so based on that IP protection rights, you can always demand your terms and condition and use your bargaining power at that particular time, right? So it help you to give you that, gives that bargaining power while discussing with someone. Another is, as Prabodh sir has rightly mentioned, that how IP is playing a role into the valuation, right? So here I want to classify that how business valuation is calculated. It is calculated by doing the summation of tangible assets and intangible assets of your business. What counted as a tangible assets is your building, factory, land, furniture, computer case, inventory, machinery, and all this. So whatever the physical properties you have in your business can be considered and defined as a tangible assets, right? But the tangible assets has a problem is that the valuation of your tangible assets will get reduced day by day because of the depreciations. So whatever the valuation you have as your tangible assets today will get reduced day by day. And another portion of this valuation is intangible assets. What falls under the intangible assets is all your intellectual property, your goodwill, your trade secret, your USP, your client network, your business method, your brand recognitions. So all these things fall under as an intangible assets. And the beauty or the benefit of intangible asset is that day by day, the valuation of intangible assets will increase because it is directly proportional to your business, your revenue, your growth, your goodwill, and your market establishment. So without doing any additional efforts or the extra effort, the value of intangible assets will goes on increasing day by day. So at any particular point of time, if you do the business valuation of your business and if you classify in between tangible assets and intangible assets, you will come to know that the critical and the most important role is from the intangible assets. So this is very important factor one can encase through intellectual property. Looking for finance. Now how? Okay, so currently in India we do not have that system, but it is already under the discussion as per the national IP policy which was introduced in 2016, where there is one of the agenda to consider the intellectual property as a mortgageable assets, and some discussions are going on, and in very near future we'll have this option available that if you have your trademark registration, design registration, or patent registration, you can mortgage your IP registration to bank, and bank will provide you the loan. And that it is not it is already ongoing into the foreign countries. People are already using this system. People are already getting the fund on their patent, on their trademark, on their copyright certificate, on their design patent certificate, right? So in near future in India also it will be applicable. So you don't have to mortgage your land, you don't have to mortgage your home or car. Without that, just by mortgaging your trademark certificate or patent certificate, you will get the funding from the bank or other financial institutes, right? So this is the another benefit, you can get it through the IP, right? So till now, we have identified the reasons why one should go for an intellectual property filing or a registration, right? As I told you that keep aside the legal perspective, but there are another benefits that you can achieve through by doing just one registration of your whatever the IP applicable to your business, your product. Now let's take some examples which we can correlate in a better way. What is this? If anybody can just unmute and let me know.
It's just the can opener.
Yeah, cane opener, right? So it is, we have almost used this product once in a lifetime. Whenever you are using or taking beverages into the can, we use this type of can opening mechanism. It is called ring pull can kind of mechanism. So now it was invented by individual person, and he has filed a patent, got a patent, but he was not having any capacity to do the manufacturing. So he has licensed this patent to the Coca-Cola and many other beverages companies. And what kind of royalty he was getting was 1/10 penny per can. But by that percentage of the 1/10 penny per can, what amount he was getting is 148,000 14,800 UK pound per day. It's per day amount he was getting as a royalty, and that is the amount from the UK patent. He was also having the patent in other countries also, and it is per day. So you can consider that. And do you think that creating this kind of mechanism or invention, it requires a very large rocket science or a very high established infrastructure or technologies or machineries? No, it not. It's just a simple identifying one problem, offering one solution, which is practically possible and can be correlated to that particular problem, right? Everybody aware about this? Evermore sold their ice cream brand to Lotte, and they got 2.5 times of the valuation of their last year's sales. And it is only the ice cream business. And when this amount, 1,020 crore, was bifurcated between the tangible and intangible assets, the 70% of that valuation is from intangible assets. Only the 30% valuation is coming from the physical assets they were having. Right? So this is the importance of intangible assets and how it can help you to create or inflate the valuation of your business. So another classic examples is the Paras Pharma, which was having the very well-known brand like Move, Decol, Total, Ishgard, Wingard, and all this. So when it was acquired by the Racket Benzer, it got 8 times of that company's last year's sales and revenue. Why? When the trend during that time, the trend of merger acquisition was people or the company are giving 2 times or 3 times, max to max 3 to 4 times valuation they are giving based on the last sales. But this company got 8 times. Why? Because they were having this brand valuations. It's a very, very big brand, and based on that valuation, they are able to fetch this 8-time valuation of that last year's sales, right? So by this you can consider that how critical this IP and brand valuation can help you in your business. This is another example of a company called a Unistro. What they have come up with a straw having filtered 2 sides, and in between they are putting the beads which are coated with any kind of you can put it either some flavors, probiotics, energy supplements, vitamins, and pharmaceuticals, right? So this is the examples how one can create some uniqueness. And also, hello, can you just mute someone, please?
No,
right. So this is the innovation they have created, and they have created the brand name, they have created the patent and technology and all this, and very much encased this into the market. These are another examples everyone might have come across. Earlier, if you want to prepare a green tea, you have to take the tea cup, take a cup of hot water, put your green tea bag over there, dip it for some time, and then take it out. And also discarding that is also a problem that for people to identify the dustbin or keep it on the sometime, right? So this company has come up with a solution that they've taken a paper cup, put a green tea at the bottom, closed it with the cellophane paper, which is transferable for the water, but not for the other contents. You just add a hot water, your green tea will be ready. You can drink it and use and throw, right? So this is the innovation, and through that innovation kind of thing, you are coming up with some solution to the problem. Once you are coming up with some kind of solution to the problem, try to identify which kind of IP I can create out of this. You can create your brand name, you can create a design patent, you can create a copyright, you can create a patent. So whatever IP is applicable to that product, you have to identify and protect it as early as possible to take the benefit out of it. All of you might be aware about this brand, right? This brand is protected by trademark. This product and the process is protected by the patent applications and all this. So, right, so it's not only filing the IP, it's also you have to say it loudly to the market, to the audience, to the people that you have that kind of IP protection, right? So you have to encase it, right? Just by filing it is not going to help you, right? So once you file it, you make it, you encase it, you market it, right? On your offline and online marketing channels, whatever you are putting in products, keep information that all IP is protected, your trademark is registered, your patent is filed or registered, your design is filed or design pending, kind of things. Put that kind of information so that it can connect your consumers to that message that you are not an ordinary company or ordinary product. You are selling the product which is something value added product. You have created something new which is not in a routine kind of things, right? This is another example. It is also a herbal based black tea with herbs. They also saying it loudly, the patent pending kind of things, and using it very well. So the message I want to convey here is whatever product you are preparing or whatever kind of business you have, sit and identify which kind of IP is applicable for your business, for your product. Do the proper analysis and file it as early as possible, right? And after filing, take a benefit out of it by using all these methods. And how to use IP in a best way, right? So the best way is if you are able to get multiple IP protection on a single product, that is the best way to use or encase your IP rights. Like this example, it is a bleach compositions. The bottle can be protected under the design. The chemical compositions of that bleach can be protected under the patent. The brand name bleach can be protected under the trademark. And the labeling part, the artwork of that can be protected under the copyright or the marketing catalog of the brochure you are preparing for this product can be protected under the copyright, right? So just like that, in your business, in your startup, in your product, try to identify that what are the different types of IP I can apply for a single product to create a large number of barriers for the competitors and the copycatters. So that if they want to copy my product, they have to cross so many barriers, right? So this is the overall summary of what intellectual property is, what different types of IP, what are some case studies, and why one should go for a IP filing, right? What are the reasons to go for IP filing, and how best you can use the IP by doing the multiple IP protection for a single product, right? So with this, I want to conclude this session, and if you have any questions, we can have more interactive discussion on this particular topic.
Thank you, Sanjay bhai, for such an insightful, while you were giving this lecture, I was also noting down few points that I had not been knowing. So really, thank you. And we would like to open this forum for anybody to ask any questions that you would like to have. I think there was one question in the chat box too.
In chat box, we are patenting our brand name only, but some products selling out with other brand name, then that will affecting the sales side. No, sir, again, I am not able to get what you are actually asking that. Once you are saying that you are patenting our brand, so patenting is for your technology or your invention. Trademark is for your brand. Your brand can be protected under the trademark. So once you have a trademark, and if someone is using the same brand name, you can always take a legal action against them. But for that, you should have your registered trademark. If it is under application or examination, at that time you cannot take any legal action.
Anybody else who would like to ask a question? Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
You can ask any silly questions. No problem.
I think everybody is still digesting whatever you have told us, and now thinking how they can do.
Everybody's expert now, IP expert now. Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity and to sharing my knowledge. And I will be available for later on. Also, if you have any query, any guidance you need, I will be available any point of time. And thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you so much for giving such an insightful webinar. And I would like to do few mentions that in just last month only, we have got 2 of our women's achievement that I would like to disclose over here on this forum, is that Miss Rupa Kavinde madam, our editor ma'am, she was invited on a World Food Safety Day at MIT ADT University in Pune to give a lecture on food safety, a responsibility to share. Congratulations, Rupaji, for such an achievement. We really look forward to listen to your recordings too. And secondly, it was our Trupti Bhatt. She is the co-convener for CSMB Women's Cell in Maharashtra, and she won a winner. She was a winner in a professional category of Meri Paushtik Rasoi 2022 season 4. So a hearty congratulations to Trupti ji as well for such an achievement. We have got 2 new members whom we would like to welcome on this platform. Ms. Jyoti Katke ma'am. She is a co-founder of Allegiant Market Research, and we would like to welcome you, ma'am, to our platform and look forward for more collaborations and insightful sessions as well. We have Ms. Preetam Sutwane ma'am as well. She's a co-founder for ProCube ERP. So it's really nice to see women's in technology domain as well. And many congratulations. We welcome you all on this platform. I would now like to invite Ms. Rupa Kavinda ma'am to give a vote of thanks to the session. Rupa ma'am, please.
Thanks a lot, Arpita ma'am, for the opportunity to give vote of thanks. So, hello everyone, myself is Rupa Kavinde, convener CSMB Women's Cell, Maharashtra. Would like to thank all participants, CSMB Women's Cell team, virtual platform team, and heartfelt thanks to our today's speaker, Mr. Sanjay Patel, for delivering such an insightful webinar on intellectual properties like patent registration, trademark, design, and copyrights. Then why to protect IP? What are the benefits of protecting it? How to use IP in best way and all. So thank you, Prabodh sir, for gracing the occasion, and thank you for your guidance always from the day 1 to the chamber. Thank you, Mr. Nilesh Lele sir, President CSMB, for his everlasting support and guidance that help us in organizing such webinars. And once again, thank you for all of you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you all. I think.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, sir.